Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? Coming to sundown because today we're going to be talking about the sick and twisted world of false prophets. The world is a dark and scary place with uncertainty around every corner. In times like these, many turn to their faith for hope, the feeling that there is something greater out there looking out for your best interest. The only problem is that the business of religion can be an incredibly lucrative one. Because of this, there will always be unsavory characters that aim to take advantage of people's desperate need for hope, whether it be for fame or for money, or both of them. Sometimes they both come together. Some of the people we're going to be talking about today go to absolutely wild lengths to prove that they speak on behalf of God himself. False prophets are an issue even today. Look no further than the bizarre and widely publicized antics of Ebo Noah. Not all prophets stand behind a podium giving speeches all day. Ebo Noah actually gained prominence posting to platforms like TikTok, currently sitting at 1.3 million followers. He'd gone from posting comedic skits and religious videos like any normal person to suddenly posting it from in front of a gigantic boat he claimed to be Noah's Ark. Noah revealed that he was spoken to by God himself, who warned of a catastrophic flood that would commence on December 25th, 2025, on Christmas Day. We're still here, so you know how that went. This was supposed to be due to several years of non-stop pouring rain. He was then instructed by God to build several wooden arks that would bring humans as well as animals aboard. His building progress videos would start to rake in views, with some people starting to get genuinely worried about their safety in the case that he was telling the truth. And out of nowhere, Noah decided to update his fashion from casual clothes to tattered up sackcloth outfits. And you gotta sell the part, you know what I mean? I've discarded my earthly possessions and now I'm in a potato sack. And I built a boat. According to Noah, just one of the arks would be able to somehow hold 600 million people. It's a big boat. The story began to go viral, with more and more people believing that they would have to actually travel to the ark sites for salvation, which is exactly what thousands of them did. He'd film a random crowd of people and claim that they were coming specifically to join his vessel. As silly as this seems, it is believed that some people actually did take his claim serious enough to travel to Ghana, and one man in particular actually flew from Liberia to Ghana, only to realize he completely wasted his time and money getting there. Many even quit their jobs, prompting Noah to rush to his phone to claim he never once told people to do that. Don't do that! What is he telling people? If you're telling people that end the world, I mean, what is he saying? All right, keep the 9 to 5. Do you think that he was rolling back because he was like, oh shit, if people actually quitting their jobs are gonna get really pissed at me, versus people who find out that I was just kind of around? Yeah, he's like, oh shit.
Yeah, he's like, this was a troll.
Yeah, exactly. Eventually, a channel going by the name Headless YouTuber filmed himself going to the location of where Noah was supposedly building his arks and proved that they were just fishing boats he would approach and film himself in front of, which, you know, not a bad strategy. Got a little fishing yard? Look how big these boats are. You can't tell. Perhaps the backlash started to stress Noah out because he posted an update video on December 24th revealing God told him that because of all the incoming prayers, he postponed the flood so that more arks could be built.
God has given us some time to build more arks in addition to the 10 that will contain all of us.
Hey God, I like how God's just like, another time. We'll figure it out some other time.
I think God is just pranking people.
It seems like a bit of a prank, right?
Just want to test your faith. He's like, all right.
Well, I guess that's just what it is. He added that he would no longer take donations, potentially because of all the suspicion that arose when he suddenly purchased a brand new Mercedes vehicle valued at around $100,000. What you know about that? You know, you guys are gonna have to keep your job. That's also why he told them to keep their job. But don't quit your jobs. You gotta keep donating to the cause, you know, these goddamn arks. What, can I not drive a Mercedes around for just a little bit? Before the world ends, Nick, can I not enjoy a Mercedes-Benz?
I would just say God gifted it to me.
God gifted it to me. He stopped the floods, taught me how to build some boats, and get to drive a Mercedes. In the end, Ebo Noah was arrested by Ghana police for causing a widespread panic and public disorder. He still makes content today, refusing to take off the sack, and occasionally he'll post full-on sponsored content in this outfit. Like just recently when he made a commercial for an electronics store selling iPhones for cheap. He's still in the sack. It's pretty awesome. Do you think he still hangs around the? I like to think that he made some friends over at the shipyard. He'll be all right. Hey, we want to give a quick shout out to our favorite sponsor, Gamer Subs, which we have amazing energy drink called Raw Meat. You need to pick that shit up right now. It is summer in a shaker, or hopefully one day a can, because they're starting to do cans in places, and it's delicious. Raw Meat, my flavor is a beautiful cantaloupe watermelon mix that's just oh, it's absolutely beautiful. We drink the caffeine-free version all the time when it gets too late, because Gamer Subs gives you a little pep in your step. Pep. Pep pep. Also, if you like big tittied anime women, they have little tub shakers that have big, beautiful tittied anime women on it. So if you like that, they have shakers. Pick up a big tittied anime shaker thing. They like that. You like that? I know I do. If you head over to Gamer Subs right now, you can get signed up for some free samples. They're all good flavors. There's not a single bad flavor. They're all muy caliente. Mwah. They're beautiful. They're so tasty. So please head over to Gamer Subs and use promo code PAPAME to check out and tell them that we sent you. All right? You're gonna get a little goodie with it. I think you'll like it. Back to the video. One man, however, could not let the whole thing go. In particular, a man who had moved his entire family to the Ark location only to find out it was all a grift. Allegedly, he set fire to a random winter boat thinking that it was one of his arks. In reality, it was just a random fishing boat. He's fought that. I'll tell you what, Emo better watch his ass. That moved your entire family there?
I think he's gonna be dead by the end of the year.
Jesus, really?
I think someone's gonna try and they tried to burn his boat.
I mean, to be fair, well, do you think that they thought that he was inside of it? Oh my God.
It's just interesting, like, why him? Is it just fear? You see his videos and you're like, oh shit. And then it just clicks that this guy must be telling the truth.
Oh, you mean like, why did the religious guy buy into... Yeah. Well, I think one, I think people want to believe. And then two, it's just that thing online. There's so much separation online, right? You see all these people being like, this is stupid, you're a liar, whatever. And all it takes is one neuron in your brain for you to fully believe, like, well, what if? Well, no wonder. Why would people believe this? This is God testing me. It's shit like that. I don't think it's actually that hard to conceive that somebody would fall in line with this. If someone's lying to you, but you're just believing, I mean, like, you have nothing but trust in this person. You know what I mean?
I don't trust anything online.
That's probably the best bet. Except that I'm 6'6", right? I am 6'6", I'm 23 years old, and I can deadlift a truck. All right, those are, but you've seen that, so you guys don't need to. I don't need to post a video about it, but we've seen it. Yeah,
I'm a witness.
Yeah,
you could trust me.
For what?
I'm telling the audience they could trust.
Oh, they could trust. Yeah, trust you on that. Yeah, please do. Over in Italy, a woman claimed to have witnessed a statue of Virgin Mary do unimaginable things. Using this, she was able to build a massive following. This is kind of this story, because this was in 2016. This story just reminded me of the South Park episode where the Virgin Mary just squirts blood. She's having her period, but then the Pope comes and says she's bleeding out of her ass. And chicks do that every month. In 2016, Gisela and her husband traveled to Bosnia and purchased a statue of the Virgin Mary, bringing it back home to Trevino Romano. I like the cheese. Once there, the statue began to weep blood and speak to Gisela, claiming to be both God and the devil. Okay, so first off, I was just say horrifying. At what point, Nick, I want you to be honest, give it to me straight. At what point do you peek your head in on that woman? You hear that's what she says and you say, I'll be right back. And you leave. Is it the first time you hear that, or is it a couple times? If my wife told me I have a statue of the Virgin Mary, she's bleeding and she says she's the God and the devil, not even joking, this is me being completely transparent, I'd say, oh my God. I'd say, hold on. And I would dead sprint downstairs. I'd get my car and I would never look back. That would be enough for me. Yeah. Because you know what happens? You let it slide one time, you're dead. You're gone. Talk about a statue crying and bleeding, God and the devil. You're not gonna wake up with your foot missing. Yeah, the statue. It needed a sacrifice. That kind of thing.
Well, that's the thing. Either Allison's killing you or the statue is possessed. And it's just a win-win.
Dude, knowing my wife, she is going to use it as like, I was possessed. That's why I stabbed him 75 times. It's a perfect crime.
It's true. Insanity. You get away with it.
Exactly. Well, she thought that she was the Virgin Mary, and she just gives you the judge one of these.
And then you're just in a psych ward playing chess forever.
And then I'm in 6 feet under the ground.
You're in heaven or hell.
Hopefully. You know what I always am scared of is if the afterlife is real shit, if I'm in purgatory. Would you rather be in purgatory, or would you rather be a spirit stuck on earth?
Isn't that the same thing? Isn't that purgatory?
I thought purgatory was just like it was like a place, it's like a no man's place.
I think there's different interpretations, but I always assumed purgatory was like stuck on earth. That's one form of purgatory.
What would be worse? Would be being stuck on Earth as a ghost, where like no one even knows can't really enjoy anything, or hell?
I'd probably be ghost, because at least I think I'm alive. Come on, listen to me.
I feel like that would drive me crazy. Versus you want some? When I was younger, I had this dream that I was in hell because my grandma told me. One second. My fucking back. My grandma told me, because I said, "What is hell like?" And she said, "What's your greatest fear?" And I said, "Claustrophobia and clowns." I was a child. I was like, I'm claustrophobic and I'm afraid of clowns. She was like, hell would be you're in like a black void and you would be stuck in a glass box and a clown would just be like crawling over it. And then as a kid, I'm like, first off, that gave me nightmares. And I had like, I think that's why I had like my first panic attack. But then after a while too, I was like, what? I mean, if you were there forever, You know what really frightened me? Boredom. Yeah, if that's what that was. Can you imagine me sitting, like, can you imagine just sitting in a glass box till the end of time?
What if they mind wipe you though? So every day it's like a new day.
They probably do that just to keep the insanity. Because after a while, you just be like, I don't give a dude. I'd probably try to make friends with the clown. Dude, can we just talk for 10 minutes? I'm gonna glass box.
There's a famous philosopher, mathematician who believed in hell, or he was a Christian because of the one chance that God does exist and he punishes you if you don't believe him. He's like, I'm just gonna be a Christian.
It's the safest bet.
Yeah, that's what he can.
It's really the safest bet. I know people do it out of the moral of it, which whatever, you believe in whatever God you want to believe. I'm just saying it's the safest bet.
He was a mathematician. He did the math.
He did the math. And there's a slim chance, but you know what? I'm not chancing it. Shortly after watching the statue cry, she encased it in glass and built a shrine around it in her town. How'd she get the zoning permits for that? How did she get that? Who stamped that approval? All right, sure. Who said, or do you think she did illegally?
No, I think she went up.
She went to town hall and got a permit? So it's the God devil, it cries, it bleeds sometimes, it talks to me, it calls me Max. Like, alrighty. Approved. Her claims drew hundreds of pilgrims each year, and this also evolved into her somehow gaining prophetic powers. It's natural, dude. Come on. If I'm doing this whole thing, I'm not just gonna say, yeah, it's attached to me. You know, come on, it's my statue. The statue would warn her of things like a deadly virus in China and tell her to alert her followers to engage in prayer. You're trying to tell me this chick and she prophesied coronavirus? What? As her following grew, she allegedly woke up one day with the same crucifixion wounds as Jesus Christ on her hands and feet. Oh, see, that's where she got it wrong, dude. It's the wrist. People always think it's the hands, it's the wrist. Google. Boot up Ask Jeeves and just do a quick research, dude. You know? If it's, I think they said if it's through his hands, it would do. I'm pretty sure that's why they did it in here. This led her to start performing miracles and giving prophetic predictions herself. And one day, she claimed an earthquake would destroy Rome and the Catholic Church would be completely taken over by communists. It's a big lightning, thunder and lightning. Can you imagine that? Communists taking over. Whoa. She watched Red Dawn the night before. She was like, oh my God. Her followers claim that she would regularly perform miracles similar to when Jesus multiplied loaves of bread and fish. She sounds like a world-class magician. If this is the case. If I was there, I was like, how the f did she do that? You know, they're talking about some like what's that Christopher Nolan movie? The Prestige? She's pulling a Prestige, dude. How do we know she doesn't have a twin? On more than one occasion, she has shown up to her sermons with a single box of pizza or plate of gnocchi. The f is gnocchi? She stated, and I quote,
"It was a pizza for 4, and 25 of us ate from it. It never got any smaller."
She sounds like an amazing illusionist. Or do you think is she actually blessed, Nick?
I think so.
Maybe.
The Corona thing fucking...
The Corona thing, I'm not gonna lie, the COVID thing, it hit. Yeah, it did hit. In 2016, come on. Though Gisela may seem saintly, she has not been completely honest with her followers. By 2023, the church began to notice Gisela growing more and more popular and sent someone out to officially investigate the claims to the statue Weeping Blood. A sample was taken, only to prove that it was not the blood of a human, it was pig's blood the entire time. Not long after the findings were published, Gisela and her husband hid themselves from the public, giving in occasionally to make small appearances. And to this day, she sends out one message a month to her following using an AI voice to spread her message.
Here is the message from the Queen of the Rosary given to Gisela, September 3rd, 2025.
Even worse, the couple had earned nearly $500,000 from pilgrims and followers' donations, and they believed the money would be sent to a children's hospital. And as it turns out, the couple used the money to buy more land around the shrine, renovate their house, and purchase a brand new $40,000 car. This is not Gisela's first fraud, right? This is where I was like, are you kidding me? This is not Gisela's first fraud charge. Just 3 years before she bought the statue, she was convicted of fraudulent bankruptcy after creating a charity to help sick people and take the money for herself. Now Gisela and her husband are set to go into trial April of 2026 for faking miracles and misusing donation money. What a crazy turn of events. Growing up in the Midwest, you see it everywhere. It's people that work working shitty jobs. All anyone wants to do in life, Nick, they just want to have a good time and fucking be at peace, do whatever. And sometimes you draw up the shortest stick when you're born, and you're just trapped in this hell pit, this hell cycle where you work a dead-end job like your family did, blah, blah, blah. And now all you can do is have the faith that there's going to be something better after this is done, right? It's sad. It's sad because people just are so parasitic and will leech onto anything. They don't give a
And then they make their lives worse.
They make their lives worse, and that's why I think that Gisela, I don't know, they should take that statue and they should bust out her front teeth with it. Some proclaimed prophets will want to stand out from all the other grifters out there, and in some cases, this can lead to some absolutely insane headlines. South African pastor farts on congregation to heal and cure them. Photo goes viral. You know, whatever parasitic news journalist was just like, perfect. Fart. Oh, God, this is gonna get all the clicks. Chris Penelope is a pastor from Penelope? Christ. Oh my, is his name Christ?
Yeah, Christ Penelope. We have a Noah and we have a Christ.
We have a Noah, we have a Christ? We need a Virgin Mary next. God, dude, my back is killing me. Christ Penelope is a pastor from South Africa that became widely known for a time after a series of photos were released from inside his congregation. In them, Penelope is seen sitting directly on the faces of his congregation, and apparently, he was able to convince people that his farts were holy, allowing him to fart in their faces to get the Spirit of God inside of them. You know, so, you know that motherfucker was there. And he was like, smell it. I want you to smell it.
That's gotta be a fetish. Or
the guy's like, all right, I smell it. No, huff it. I need you to huff it. What's it smell like?
I got another one coming.
I got the one more. What is that one like? Do not throw up. When pressed about why he would willingly fart on his devout followers, he simply snapped back with, I don't fart on people. I heal people. In other photos, he is seen standing on top of his followers, claiming that they feel no pain because the Holy Spirit has taken control and made it so. Isn't that right? No pain. Somebody, just get off. During a sermon in 2018, it was discovered that Pastor Penelope was anointing his followers with condom oil. Dude, just get the red wine and crackers and call it a day. The snake's venom. The devil, he go bite. Reportedly, he'd smear a wet condom all over a chair, ask congregants to sit on it, and then watch them supposedly fall to the ground due to the raw power of the Holy Spirit. The mother set up a Three Stooges prank. It's what I do think people get off on being like, I bet you I could do something so ridiculous and I could still get away with it. That's where I think it comes in. Well, that's what I mean. It's like a power trip of being like, I could say anything and I'd still have a following. You know what I mean? Perhaps he learned this behavior from his mentor, Professor Daniel of Rabboni Center Ministries. This man also, what kind of Rabboni? My boy Daniel of Rabboni. You can't have a name like Daniel. He needs to be like, what's like a magical name? Also needs like a wizard's name. Professor Corlox of Rabboni. My name's Corlox, Professor Corlox of Rabboni. Center Ministries, yes. What you want to do is you want to take this mason jar, put it up against your hole, and you're going to blow a fart. You want to cap it, and then when someone feels sick, you let them smell it.
That was my, I was going to sell Etsy.
Stop.
What?
No more. I'm going to allow myself every video, I'm going to allow myself 2 Nick stops, okay? So that's one flag thrown, that's one Nick stop thrown. Because all I said before that was putting a glass jar up to my asshole and then smelling it. I don't need to know where you're going with that. This man was also seen as unorthodox and controversial, as he would push his followers to do absurd things like eat bugs and drink petrol oil. Gas? This goes good in my Camry. Is this just gas? Drink it! One of the biggest religious events people look forward to is the eventual return of Jesus Christ. As it turns out, he is already here in Russia. Sergei Torpos, or Visarion. Oh my God, what a name! That's like a unicorn, dude. Who are you? Visarion. First of my name. That's what his followers call him. He is the founder of the Church of the Last Testament. Oh my God. If he doesn't have a sword, I'm gonna be pissed, you know what I mean? Visarion, leader of the Church of the Last Testament. I legitimately believe this guy, even if he's not a false prophet, he could beat the devil in a fight. 1,000,000%. It all started back in the 90s when he was fired from his job as a traffic cop and began having prophetic visions that convinced him he was the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. Or might have been alcoholism, not sure. In less than a year, he founded his church and began his teachings. If you were part of his church, you were forbidden from eating meat, smoking, drinking alcohol, or using profanity. They lived in multiple towns with names like City of the Sun or Adobe of Dawn. Thousands of miles deep into Siberia, some which contain over 5,000 residents. God damn.
Abode of Dawn.
I'm gonna just keep it Adobe. Everyone wears white robes, and a core belief of his followers is that a great flood will wipe out the world. And those who live in the promised land will survive and rebuild it. Kind of tired of the flood meme.
That's just the lore. That's Noah. That's every religion.
That's a lot of different religions too. Even outside of Christianity, there's a lot of flood shit.
It's all about like a reset, where if people think like the world's going to shit.
I'm just saying, why can't it just be a thing where it's like a giant, and I'm going to be honest, guys, this is me. I'm Visarion. Guys, I'm going to be really straightforward with you. Or no profanity. I'm going to be really, really freaking straightforward with you. The Cyclops is coming. He's going to... What? I don't know. You big old Cyclops. And he's gonna destroy all the worlds because he's gonna duplicate. So we have to live up high. The Cyclopses are, and they try to get my father to, and they say, they have one eye. Yes, but are afraid of heights. They say that, and you're like, everyone's like, why? You're out. Get out. What would the Cyclops be named? If your name is Visarion, you gotta have a badass Cyclops name. Grelix, the World Breaker. Skrillex.
I like that. Can he burst through the core of the earth?
Yeah, dude. Exactly. That's his heart, by the way. So we have to love him at the same time, but we have to be afraid of him.
And then we become sky people and we live in the air.
Yeah.
And we build a giant beanstalk. It's the reverse of Jack and the Beanstalk because he doesn't want to go up the beanstalk.
See, or I thought you were saying that you're like a crazy follower of mine, but I'm too afraid to like tell you to leave, so I'm just like, yeah. So you just kind of adopt what he's saying. Nailed it. Throughout his cities, there's a picture of his face in nearly every single room. And all of his followers, including him, wear white robes for ceremonies, very similar to scenes from the movie Midsummer, which was a pagan cult. Show a clip from it. Ooh. Visarion rarely grants interviews and usually keeps to himself. However, in 2012, he allowed a reporter from Vice to come and explore his compound. Right away, he said the entire place gave him a sense of peace and that everyone was visibly happy. He admitted to slipping into full-on indoctrination as he was being guided around. During his interview with Visarion, he found out that he has memories of being Jesus from 2,000 years ago. He also claimed to have no favorite food because his answer would be too difficult for a normal person to understand. What's Visarion eating? That's what I want to know. Yeah, I bet he wanted to say. He wanted to say pussy.
Oh, I was gonna say Taco Bell, but he's like, that's beneath Jesus. That's beneath Visarion.
Yeah, that motherfucker definitely wanted to say a 5-layer burrito. He's like a 5. You wouldn't understand. It's a quesarito, but they keep removing it from the menu. I'm not going to talk about it. Visarion comes off as a peaceful and stoic leader. On his church's Instagram, he brands himself the same way, showing himself playing with children alongside shots of him smiling with followers. He also has tried to appeal to younger audiences by posting memes mourning the death of Harambe the gorilla. He also makes memes claiming he is better than Jesus by referring to himself as the Krusty Krab and comparing Jesus to the Chum Bucket.
Ooh, that kind of...
What do you mean? That's Visarion we're talking about. It's humor and it's good. However, this would all come to an end as his entire religion in town was court ordered to shut down and liquidated after Visarion and 2 other higher-ups were arrested. In 2020, it was discovered that Sergei and his top guys were extremely brutal towards followers, using physical violence and psychological abuse to keep them in line. The Russian FSB was sent out to his colonies, where they stormed his house and arrested him. They then flew him back to Moscow so he could go to trial. In court documents, it was revealed that 16 people were mentally harmed and 6 others suffered severe bodily harm throughout their time there. Investigators also discovered that he had been siphoning funds from his community and misusing them for personal purchases, even though his followers had all sworn off using money. Come on, Visarion. When it came time to sentencing, the court found that the 3 men had abused their authority within a religious organization to control and manipulate followers. And in the end, Visarion was sentenced to 12 years in a maximum security penal colony. The other 2 men received identical charges.
Son of a bitch. He seemed perfect.
Goddamn. Dude, is there any way that you just can't run a cult? It's a cult. Is what that was, right? 100% a cult. The world can sometimes be a dark and desolate place, guys, leaving many to turn to religion and try to brighten their lives, which I don't blame people. Sometimes, Nick, I like feeling that there's something out there. It's hard to make sense of this whole thing, and who knows if there isn't a divine creator out there? I don't know. No one does. God does know. He's the one who did it. It can be hard not to give into scams like this, especially when the person selling you lies is charming and believable. At the end of the day, it's been said a million times, it sounds too good to be true, and it probably is. If there's the potential to make a buck, there'll always be a person out there doing what they can to sell you some snake oil. So be careful, y'all. But hey, happy praying. And then guess what? If the end of the world comes and takes us, just know I love all of you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Snake oil or condom oil?
Dude, I would take the condom oil. Snake oil can be venomous, right?
Yeah, if it's...
I'm pretty sure you can drink condom oil.
You can drink snake venom. If
You can drink snake venom?
Yeah, as long as you don't have any cuts or ulcers.
Snake. This is the Nick 2 number card. I'm using it now at the end of the video.